welcome everybody to another great episode of St. Augustine This Evening, the Mike Davis Show without Mike Davis. We have the Bollocks Boys here for Thursday nonsense and trivia, so it's going to be a wild show. We're going to respect no one's boundaries in this episode, I feel, and we're going to make some money first. Opening their doors in 2008, Brightway Insurance, the Casey agency, has proudly stood by their customers through hurricanes, major floods, hail, and fires. Through these events, the agency has become a much-needed insurance resource in times of trouble and hardship. Honesty and integrity are the pillars of our core values, says owner Ashley Casey. We pride ourselves on being insurance experts while developing strategies that help our clients meet their insurance needs. They truly enjoy the relationships they have forged with you, St. Augustine, for all your insurance needs. Brightway Insurance, the Casey agency. Bozard Ford Lincoln in St. Augustine, their goal is to make sure your time and experience buying a car is stress-free, fun, and enjoyable. Bozard is a family-owned Ford dealership that has been in business since 1949. Bozard Ford Lincoln has been the recipient of numerous dealer awards, including being ranked #1 automotive dealership in the nation by Dealer Rater. Bozard Ford has also won back-to-back President's Awards, which is the highest honor given by Ford Motor Company. Check them out today online at bozardford.com or head on down there and have a Jiffy Burger at Ford's Garage. We've got Powell Heating and Air Conditioning. Their dedication to customer service has been evident in everything they do for the 39 years that they've been a locally owned business. From the moment they answer your call until the time they leave your home, they are working to make you comfortable and confident about the care and service you receive from Powell. With their fleet of 10-plus trucks, a 15,000 square foot warehouse stocked with parts and equipment, they are ready to serve you around the clock. They service all heating and air conditioning brands, and their emergency service is always open. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, including nights, weekends, and holidays for all your interior comfort needs. Powell Heating and Air Conditioning. You guys ready?
Yes.
I love it. It's the one with the X's on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, please don't do this one, and it's the one we do.
That's the one you always do.
Yeah, it's the one we always do. Land title, whether you realize it or not, when you refinance a sale or purchase a home, there is a title company involved. Don't get stuck with some out-of-town title company who doesn't give a crap when you are faced with challenges. Stay local and choose Land Title of America. Just call or text Stephen Collins at 904-501-4481. He specializes in all types of real estate transactions. Land Title, your local title company, ensuring America's land one title at a time because
they give a crap.
Yay! Thank you so much, Blake. Thank you, Lenny.
Pleasure.
Welcome, everybody. How you guys doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, you having a good week, Troy?
It's a fun week. Florida Man games. I've been out to the fairgrounds a couple of different times.
Yeah.
Set up. The Bounder is ready.
Okay.
The Bounder? What is the Bounder?
That is our home on wheels.
Okay.
So the Bounder is out there waiting for us to enjoy the Florida Man games.
Awesome. I haven't been told what I'm doing. I just know that I'm doing something.
Yeah.
Show up early. That's all I've been told.
You're going to be eating
I think
barbecue.
you should be in the VIP.
Yeah.
You're
We'll
a
figure it
VIP,
out.
so you should be in the VIP.
Maybe. We'll see.
Is
that
it?
what you
Is,
did last year?
I was I was like VIP
Wrangler.
gate monitor, and then we heard that the VIP bleachers were unattended, so then I had to guard the VIP bleachers. Lenny was there.
I was.
I let him in.
Yep.
I guarded his spot for
Right.
him.
Thank you very much.
He saw me almost get punched by a very tall, angry Florida man.
Oh,
It was exciting.
yeah. So that's I'm sure other Florida men would have came to your rescue.
I think
One
so.
good thing about a Florida man is they see a woman in distress, they'll be there for them.
Throw an alligator at the guy.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Even a northerner would have stepped in to protect you
I think Lenny would have protected me.
without hesitation.
I will be wearing an alligator.
You will be?
Yeah.
I have an
It's
alligator
pretty-
on order. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see if it shows up.
Yeah.
See, and my niece likes T-shirts, and the weirder they are. So when we went to New York last year for the NCAA final with my friends from up there, and we do something exotic, we were cooking alligator, so I had a big alligator shirt that I was wearing. Yeah, I was going to wear that on Saturday, except I gave it to my niece.
Oh, man, you got to borrow it back.
So, yeah, I know. She's out of town. I might have to go sneak into her closet or have her mother do it for me.
There you go. Go grab it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very Florida, man, to have a woman sneak into another woman's closet for a shirt for you.
It's completely a Florida man thing.
That is 100%. How
And
are you doing, Blake?
Blake's going to be scorekeeping out there.
yes, I will be.
We love that.
Thank
On
you.
the numbers.
Yes, I will. Beep, 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 boop.
Yep. Isn't that what you did last year? You were scorekeeper, man?
Yes, yes, I was.
But
Very nice.
now there's going to be big monitors to see
Oh, yeah?
the scores and-
So I really must knit. much like the words that just came out of my mouth, I really must not make a mistake at the Florida Man games.
Yeah.
It's
All
Florida.
the Florida men will turn on you.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
It's-
But no one really questioned last year, but no one knew what the
Right.
points were.
I know.
No one really knew what
It's kind
this-
of like whose line is it anyway?
Yeah, where they give points, but they don't really
Yeah.
matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
The points
these
don't
really matter though, because I
Yeah,
mean,
they do.
it's playing for money. But I mean,
Playing for
Hanky
money and a
Spanky
big
was
old belt.
Hanky Spanky was kind of clearly the winner last year.
Spanky.
Yeah.
Wasn't that local team?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Nice.
It
Love
is.
Do we have more than one local team this year?
I think we have
tech-
one
tech-
from St. Augustine Beach.
Okay.
Kind of spread out from
Yeah.
the state now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So like, there's a team from DeLand. I want to make sure I get a chance to talk
Nice.
to those guys.
Are they the
Cooter-
hog wranglers or something?
Yeah, Cooter Commanders are back. So no, I don't know the team from DeLand. So I want to find out
Yeah, so
how I'm related.
Last time you wore your like or maybe Rebecca wore your Deland like farm ranch whatever farm shirt.
Oh, she wore. I think she wore. No, I had on my my barbecue, my food truck barbecue
Okay.
from DeLand. My friend
I think-
Chip. My friend Chip has a pig. It's a food truck that just serves pork products.
Only pork.
Yeah.
When I was driving here today, I saw a guy in a shirt that looked very reminiscent to a website that I mostly know from reading articles on it, Pornhub. But it was Pork Hub.
You're in it for
Is
the
that
articles?
is that a local company's like work shirt?
What's it
Pork Hub?
Pork Hub.
Pork Hub. He was
I don't
riding a bike down Old Moultrie in
I
a
don't know.
Pork Hub, and it looked just like the Pornhub logo,
Okay.
Okay.
which is why
So
it
it's got
gave
the
me a
black
double.
and, black and yellow.
Yeah.
black
Not
and
that I would
orange.
know.
And-
No.
Oh, it's orange. I'm sorry.
Come to the expert, why don't
Do
we?
you know the exact color?
I
It's
think
summer sunshine.
I
Get
think
this
that
one.
I think like the hex was like 068321.
There's like number codes if you're in graphic design
Oh yeah.
and branding, the whole deal. Ugh,
Yeah.
So annoying.
Yeah, I had to do some, sometimes like the city has colors in Benjamin Moore
hmm
that go through the Harb. And
Okay.
we're doing some painting at some of our historic buildings. And we use Sherwin-Williams. So I had to go there and do the comparable and the crossover between Benjamin
Sure.
Moore to Sherwin-Williams. And the
Do you have
guy
a spreadsheet?
the guy who was at Sherwin-Williams really wasn't getting it. So I had to call his supervisor to explain to him what I was trying to explain to him, because he's
Yeah.
like, no, I'll just make a color from this. I was like, no, you can't.
No.
You can't
Yeah.
just do a comparable. I have to show the actual number that's the comparable to
Yeah.
it. So
Ugh.
so it was a fun 30-minute conversation, and finally when I got his boss on the phone, I was like, here.
Right.
He's like,
I was-
oh, okay.
I was ancillary to an organization trying to get a color approved through Harb. And, they submitted the actual color names, color codes from the company, the whole deal. And they couldn't make up their mind. So they told them to paint swatches on the building. So then they got like a complaint because there were swatches painted on the building. Luckily, that one wasn't followed up on. They came out, they approved the color swatch. So like the painter was just standing there with like all of these buckets of paint, like which one? And they gave the approval, and then they still got a call complaint on the color.
Yeah.
And they had to
It's always-
process
it's always
that.
gonna
It's
happen.
like,
But I mean, we're staying within the code. It's
Yeah.
just you got to get that exact color
yeah,
to stay within the code, without having to go back to the main board. And it was way too much explanation for this guy. He's just like, okay, I'm only selling you a quart, because I was getting
Yeah.
a sample for the swatches.
yeah.
So I was only getting a quart of each one. And I was like, but you can look at our account. We buy a lot more than just
I
a quart.
promise you I'm a good customer.
Right.
Please help me out.
Yeah. So
The bureaucracy of trying to paint something that happens to be historic is wild.
Doge paint then?
he
Doge
was
needs to clear it out.
Yeah. No, they wouldn't let me buy the quart because they would see it as wasteful instead of productive. So
Then
Kind of is. Like, you have to buy this little bitty tub so somebody can look at it and,
And
be
then
like, yes,
and then
that
you can
one.
buy a big tub.
And then you get to buy in bulk.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
But it's better than buying a big tub and it being wrong.
Yes.
That would be wasteful.
Yes. So we mentioned earlier this week, we were talking birthday cake and everyone's favorite kind of birthday cake. And mine is like super like silly just for my childhood nostalgia. So it's rainbow chip icing on a funfetti cake.
Mhm.
Just like it's so bad, but it's so good, and I remember it every year, and it makes me happy. So, what is your favorite birthday cake? What do you want every year?
I'm really not a snob against any type of cake.
Equal opportunity.
I love so many different types of cakes. I mean, I love a good German chocolate cake.
Nice.
I love, any Publix cake I'm usually good with. I do like a good cream cheese frosting. So I'm good with red velvet. Like I said, I am not a cake
You're
snob.
not picky?
I'm not a cake snob in any way, shape, or form. You buy me a cake, I'm happy.
All right.
So
What do you got, Lenny?
I can take or leave it. My birthday was just the other day, and I ended up getting a chocolate devil's food Oreo chip from Publix as their birthday gift to me.
Yeah.
And then I got a half a gallon of ice cream from.
Publix cake is really good.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just cake doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
I'd
You're not
rather
a
a
cake
cookie
guy?
or a tiramisu.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Tiramisu.
you'd rather have a cookie?
Lean
Yeah.
into the stereotype. Are you like big cookie, like the chocolate cookie cakes, like the big cookies that are iced
no.
with icing, or just
no.
like a little cookie?
Cookies are good.
Yeah.
Cookies. I can tell you this: when I went gluten free for like 2.5 years,
Mhm.
the thing that I struggled the most with finding a good substitute cookie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Chocolate chip cookies are just
So I
Good.
couldn't do it anymore. I
Yeah.
tortured myself for 2.5 years.
yeah.
My
Yes.
body loved being gluten free. I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
Yeah.
there was some good results with it.
Yeah, legit.
But no, my happiness was more important to me than my
Yeah.
health.
Yeah, but also didn't we accidentally go a week thinking we were going gluten free by also going dairy free as well? Because
Yeah, we tried casein and gluten
Yeah.
at the same time, and I definitely wasn't able to do that.
No,
No, I
gotta pick one.
I love me some cheese.
the vegan
That's the
cheese was
hardest.
rough.
It was awful.
It's
it
not
was
cheese, it's oil.
awful.
Right. And cashews are well, not really a nut, but cashews are something you nibble on. You don't make cheese out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you
When I-
can, but
Mhm.
don't
Don't
serve
do
it to
it.
me. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
When I go like paleo, which again my body loves, I'm great with almost no inflammation when I'm strict paleo, but that's the thing, no dairy on paleo. So I did carnivore. Carnivore allows dairy and meat,
Mhm.
and so I'm like, maybe I'll lean into carnivore a little bit more
Mhm.
because like I can give up vegetables and fruit. Don't
Mhm.
care.
Yeah.
Couldn't care
Yeah.
less about those as long as I have cheese, cheese and meat.
I'll
Cheese is
tell you a really good, like if you want to drop weight and get healthy. If you like sushi, you can do fruit and sushi all you can eat, and
Mhm.
it really your body will lean out like you
Yeah.
won't believe. So,
Well, we're off topic. What's your favorite birthday cake?
double
So
chocolate.
He hates chocolate. That I know.
So there wasn't like a particular cake that I remember, but that definitely has to go a vanilla cake with cream cheese
Yeah.
for frosting.
A lot of cream cheese fans in
Yeah.
the room.
Yeah, no, and my mom used to make a Boston cream, like it was like a Boston cream donut with cream in it, and it had like graham crackers and some other stuff in it. And that cake, and I need to ask her for that recipe.
Yeah.
Because it was really good, but I haven't had it in 20 years.
Sounds tasty.
At my
Yeah.
best friend's wedding, the groom's cake was my best friend's aunt's red velvet cake. And my husband loves red velvet cake. So I asked my best friend when she got back from her honeymoon if I could get the recipe. So I've had Aunt Deb's red velvet cake recipe ever since my best friend got married. She got married before I did. And every year that's like one of the few things, baked goods, that I make fully from scratch, like fully from scratch. Saturday was my husband's birthday.
Ooh.
And I made red velvet cake cupcakes.
With Oreos on top.
I always add a little Oreo, little mini Oreos on top of my cupcakes. So the cream cheese icings from scratch. I told Mike that I would bring him in to try, but he's not here. So we can break this up if you guys want to try and roast my red velvet cake. You guys can each try a piece. You
Okay.
fine with me pulling it apart? Do you want to try red velvet cake?
All right.
I have a
All
knife.
right. Okay. Do you want to use that on the red velvet cake?
Not that clean.
I got one that's equally not so.
Wait,
clean.
hold it. But we need to prepare for Florida Man though, so might as well.
I mean, it's immunities.
I'm just
Immunities.
gonna rip it apart.
Yeah. Okay, she's ripping it apart.
I'm ripping it apart.
She's not trusting.
This one has-
She's not
I'm
trusting
not
her knife.
trusting
not
the
rusty.
knife from the
Here.
pocket.
I washed the
This
blood
one has
off.
no chocolate on it from the Oreos.
Yeah,
and then you boys can
That's
get
showing your age.
Rubby Red Velvet's fingers on the stream deck.
desk.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome. Sorry, guys.
That's okay.
Hi, Pete.
Don't mind.
No, hold on. Pete's probably busy right now.
He's a little preoccupied, I would think.
Yeah.
It's really hard to do this with a microphone. in
Thank
the
you,
way.
sir.
Yeah.
David may not like
Yeah.
it.
I almost elbowed her.
All right,
So-
we've got paper towels I can clean off.
All right.
All right, roast my red velvet, guys.
Who did?
Alright.
One bite. Everyone knows the rules.
Yeah, one bite. No, it's more than one bite. I got more than one bite here, Blake.
And if you need an Oreo, I
There's some
got two.
bourbon.
There you go. I know where that is.
I can great.
Yeah?
Okay. Good.
Icing's okay?
Well, okay.
Mhm.
All right. Now everyone's going to have red teeth for the show.
Let's
How'd I
do
do,
so.
Lenny? How'd I do? You don't like cake?
No, but the icing's good because it's not cloyingly sweet,
Yeah.
and that's very important in
Yeah.
something like a cream cheese
Yeah,
frosting.
my cream cheese got a little tang to it.
Yet coconut snuck in here someplace.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's what I kind of tasted too.
Yep.
Mhm.
So we
Blake's
replaced
not a coconut person.
we
so now-
replaced coconut oil or vegetable oil with coconut oil in the house just because it's better for you.
Okay.
So it gives a little bit of a different flavor to the red
All right.
velvet.
All right. So do you like almond joys and mounds or no?
No.
So, but
I don't like the texture of coconut.
yeah, I
That's the
agree
thing.
as
I
well.
don't like the
I-
texture of coconut.
There's a lady in town, and she's now moved away,
Mhm.
but her name was Betty, and she was in my Rotary Club.
Yeah.
And her coconut cake, and I'm not a huge coconut cake fan,
Mhm.
but these coconut cakes, she would make 2 of them for a fundraiser. And you buy these cakes. I mean, sometimes the cake's sold for like $200.
Wow.
Good gracious.
You know.
Good
And-
job, Betty.
But
My
I mean,
mom has a
but
coconut
I mean, it's impressive. It's
Yeah.
a good cake.
My mom had a coconut cake recipe, and my grandfather told me I needed to learn it so that the recipe didn't die out. I needed to learn it and teach it to my children. I have yet to do that, but I still have my mom, so I still got some time.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
It's a posterity.
So is it
It's a
okay?
posterity thing. It was very good, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Right.
fact that the frosting wasn't cloyingly sweet is what makes it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of my cream cheese icing.
I think you
it's really
should be.
good.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
a
you
solid-
should be.
I'll have to make a carrot cake for you guys at some point.
Okay.
'Cause
I love
that's
carrot
another-
cake too.
Again, it's cream
Like I
cheese
said,
icing cake.
That's a
I-
vegetable.
there's really not a cake that I just go, oh no,
Yeah.
I can't do that. I mean, you said tiramisu. I can't do tiramisu because it's got that kind of coffee
Yeah.
taste to it. I
Yeah,
can't do.
I
I
don't
don't.
like
I don't.
coffee.
I don't do the coffee taste at all.
I did.
That's why I don't like tiramisu.
I catered a friend's wedding. This goes back years and years. They've been married for probably every bit of 25 years now, if not maybe a touch more. So I think they got married around the same time that we did. And I did them a tiramisu wedding cake that was tiered.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that was a challenge.
See, if
keep,
I-
keep all those lady fingers attached to the damn thing.
Oh, my
Oh, yeah.
word.
Yeah.
It was a
If I ate
construct.
that, I would be in tears.
Oh, it's good. It's just so good.
That's one dessert I can't do. I,
Oh, yeah.
I don't like coffee. I don't like
Well, that's
coffee.
it.
Coffees
Ice cream,
coffees
I
taste
don't
like crap for
drink
me.
Coffee. Yeah.
Boy, tough room. Holy
No, no,
cow.
no, I-
We're not a coffee people.
No.
I'm the person, like, if you have to acquire a taste for it,
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's not for me. Like, people are like, oh, well, beer, you have to acquire a taste. It's still, I'm not a beer guy.
Yeah.
You know,
I've
growing
never
up,
acquired the taste.
Beer
that's what they
punishes
said.
you, man.
and man, I acquired a taste for beer really pretty quick.
Yeah.
Try it on a hot day in the summer and a good cold
Well, I-
draft, and you'll acquire that taste
Yeah.
real quick.
Oh, when I
I'll
was
drink
in
it ice,
Costa
ice
Rica-
cold,
Yeah.
but not a fan.
When I was in Costa Rica doing dolphin research, I was in college, and regardless of your age, at the end of the day, you could either have a Coke or a beer. In Costa Rica, it's what is it, Imperial?
Mhm.
And so that's what we all had at the end of hot day on a research boat. You've just been in the sun and like the ocean breeze, but like not playing in the water.
But it's got to be ice cold.
Scorching.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, so
Gotta be ice-
cold.
gotta be
so
ice
cold.
cold.
It was so. That's probably the best string of beer drinking I've had in my life. Do you remember your first beer you ever tasted? Mine is tragic. That's why.
Mine is an old Milwaukee from my neighbor, and I'm pretty sure it was super hot. And it was like licking an ashtray after having a hangover for
After
14 days.
peed in it.
Yeah. It was so gross.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, I would drink like an ultra, and when I was doing trivia in the
Yeah.
olden days, I would just drink before I, when I had to drive home, I'd drink beer
Right.
instead of whiskey.
Mhm.
Like that was
Yeah.
like
I
that
was
was
gonna
like
say,
that's a good idea.
That'll save you, right?
Like that's a
exactly.
good idea.
Okay.
It seems like a good idea. But
Hi,
I
Sheriff Hardwick. How's it going?
statutes away. I'm sobered up a lot since then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus,
but-
you
We've
also
got
have
the
me.
spreadsheets to prove
You
it.
also have me as well to drive you home. So you actually can do Jameson ginger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, but I just, now that I count my drinks, I'm not wasting it on a beer.
Yeah.
I'm just not. So
Lenny, do you remember your favorite beer?
It
or
might
your
have
first
been.
beer?
It might have been a Rheingold or a Ballantine, which are local New York brands.
Mhm.
But I lived around the corner from two competing grocery stores, an A&P and a Bohack's was across the street. And Bohack used to sell a 6-pack of beer for, I think it might have been $3 for a 6-pack of canned Bohack beer.
Yeah.
It was not good.
No.
in
It was
high-
not good.
in
No
high school,
Narragansett.
But I like Schaefer. Yeah, no, well, Narragansett. Yeah, I'm a PBR kind of guy. PBR.
Yeah.
I like cheap canned beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to love when the White Lion had shitty canned beer nights on Mondays, and it was $1 for a 16-ounce can of beer.
Yeah.
I used to take my tours in there and be just happy as can be.
I just respect that PBR won a blue ribbon once, like 150 years ago, and they're like, "We're out. We're not doing it again,
That's
but we're
exactly
going to
right.
put it on the label forever."
Yep.
Yeah.
Posterity is a beautiful thing.
but I in high school I drank Mickey's Wide Mouth malt liquor, and that was probably like my go-to. And unfortunately, I did get in a car accident after opening one.
Ugh.
We're talking like 1984, and I'm holding a Mickey's Wide Mouth, which I just opened. I'm waving to a friend on a bicycle going this way, making a turn, and a telephone pole decided to move from the side of the road into the middle of the road.
The nerve of that pole.
And let me tell you, you spill a Mickey's Wide Mouth in your car,
It smells like that forever.
there is no getting around it. I mean, I flung that thing both different directions. A buddy who was with me, he broke his head or broke the window with his head and the dash with his chin. We didn't have seatbelts,
Yeah.
and my friend was One-Eyed Willie because
Yeah.
in DeLand we call nicknames by what
Yeah.
your affliction is,
Yeah, of course.
and he only had one eye. So Willie came back. I was like, go get some air freshener around the corner of Winn-Dixie. I just got off work at Winn-Dixie. And he goes, I'm spraying like fog up the inside of this. And I made a cooler, and I just got it at like the little drive-through Red Barn. I don't know if they had them in your hometown where you can drive through and you can say, oh, get me a
no.
6-pack of this. You literally could drive through this barn, and it was like a convenience store.
That's so
And you
funny.
could get whatever you want, and they'd bring it to your car, and that's how you pay. And I was well underage. I thought I had hid the cooler far enough back in the woods,
Yeah.
so I had to call from a payphone that was on the corner, my dad, and we ended up having to call the cops because you have to have a police report for the
report,
insurance
yeah.
claim. and so when the police showed up, literally they're showing, and I'm like, I got that cooler way back there. It shows up, and it looks like I literally only walked like 10 feet. And it's right there.
Glowing like a
It's
deer.
like, and I know he saw it. The guy knew who I was. He's like, Troy Blake, really? And I was like,
No, did not.
yeah. My dad knew. I mean, but he didn't say anything to my mom. It was quite the experience.
I bet.
Yeah, but I totaled the car. That
Oh,
telephone
dang.
pole. That was a crappy car.
Not hard to total. That's why when
I could have hit a pothole.
when my van got hit, it was like, it's getting totaled.
Yeah.
Like, it's not worth enough to fix it. There's zero chance it's gonna not get totaled. Have you ever had a beer, Blake?
Yes, I have had a beer
Okay,
before.
I know you
No,
don't
wait,
drink.
wait.
So.
Have you ever completed?
Yeah.
No.
That's the question.
That is,
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not really a beer. It's a I did complete a high noon once. Nah.
High noon. That's that
Alright.
flavored seltzer.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
It's close.
Yeah.
it's not really a beer. So,
No. It's
no.
boozy water. That's the category I put it in. So
so
what was your first beer?
it was a Modelo.
Modelo?
Okay,
Then-
actually,
Trendy.
if I have beer, that's what I
Yeah,
would prefer.
yeah.
If I have to have a beer, it would be
Yeah.
Modelo.
Yeah,
I thought it was Dos Equis.
No.
When I must
No.
drink,
Yeah.
I drink Dos Equis.
Yeah,
I normally don't drink
most
beer. I normally don't
anxious
drink
man.
beer.
No,
but when I do drink beer, I drink Dos Equis.
I'm still stewing that dude. Stealing my title.
So my first ever beer that I had was in Germany, and it was a banana Weizen. They would I guess, macerate a bunch of fruit, and then they would just put it in the cup and pour beer over it.
Okay.
So that was my first beer ever. It tasted okay. The burps were tragic because you're just beer burps, but banana. It was so bad.
I bet the next morning they were even worse.
Oh, I had to fly out the next day and got talked up by a pilot. So that's how I ended up having some beers. So my friend and I hung out with this pilot and his friend for the night. And then they got us home just in time for me to throw stuff in a bag and fly out. So I was on the plane when that happened.
I can tell you this.
Not pleasant.
I like cigars. We got cigars, and I don't mind while I'm smoking the cigar.
Yeah.
But after the cigar is gone, or the next day,
Yeah.
I really feel like a monkey shits in my mouth.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
I can't stand what a cigar. Like I said, I don't mind when I'm smoking a cigar. It's all right. It tastes okay. But the next day, and I'm just like, oh gosh, I'm so dumb. Why did I do this? And the next day, I was like, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah.
So I don't think I've smoked a cigar in probably 3 years.
Well, we got a big one waiting.
Yeah. I gave that. I gave
did-
that to
did
Steve.
you?
I
Okay.
gave that to Rebecca's dad.
Okay.
So
Louis wanted to smoke cigars, have a fire and smoke cigars on his birthday. And my friends were like, oh, well, did you smoke cigars? I need at least 2 days before I have to see people in order to smoke cigars for that reason. Because, it just, your mouth tastes gross. Ooh.
Yeah, when you're smoking a cigar, I have no tolerance for cigarette smoke.
Yeah.
Yet cigar smoke doesn't bother me in the
same.
least. But then the next day or later on, when you're not smoking the cigar and it's just lingering there, old cigar smoke is just yee. I can't even quite describe it.
I'm not a fan of cigar, but I can tolerate a pipe. The smell of a pipe usually.
Yeah.
So my
Does
uncle.
that have the same aftertaste?
To tell you the truth, I've never really smoked good tobacco in a pipe. I mean, the only thing I smoked out of a pipe is.
Whoa.
No comment.
I said tobacco. Leave him alone.
I have my card.
Right.
Oh.
It's
Are you
medicinal.
allowed to dose in that kind of pipe?
I have anxiety.
I could tell.
No.
Right.
I have a corn pipe that you can smoke it in.
A corn pipe. That is the most Troy Blevins thing I've ever heard.
Would you look at the man? Come on.
Wait till you see me this
grow up on a pig farm, did you?
You grow a beard like that, you get a corncob pipe as part of the club.
All right. To bring the story full circle, the person who gave me the corncob pipe, he made it. It's the same guy who has the barbecue truck in DeLand. Same guy.
All right.
My buddy Chip. It's the same guy.
Chip with the corncob pipe and the smoked butt.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so what are you most looking forward to for Florida Man games this weekend?
Oh, I just want to see all the people. I mean, I'm excited about just the fun. I've been out there the last 2 days and just kind of seeing it kind of grow into it and what it is. The fairgrounds is going to be a different feel because we're kind of all jammed together.
Yeah.
At the festival field. I think I'm looking most forward to is the lawnmower racing. Besides the evading arrest.
That's the fun one.
The evading arrest. There's a Diddy bed slide that I'm really looking forward to.
Diddy bed slide.
He's from Miami.
Is that the coleslaw slip and slide?
Oh no, it's actual baby oil.
Ooh, baby.
And
Diddy.
the person who had to
Baby
go
oil.
buy it. Person who had to go buy all the baby oil was very embarrassed by it. It wasn't me.
you?
No, I wouldn't have been embarrassed at all.
Right. What? That's all you got? Give me another case.
I would have leaned into it. Is this? I would have
Did
made
you
him.
send Clay to go get it?
No.
He would have cried.
Clay is doing sound. It was great to see Clay yesterday.
Clay is doing sound.
Yeah.
He did not hire me to do sound.
And that's
Weird.
And that's going to be involved in the evading arrest?
That's part of the evading arrest, the way I understand it.
Okay, interesting. I hope they got a lot of extra deputies because, if they get you down there, then they're covered in baby oil.
Oh, gosh.
Do we have insurance for the dry cleaning bill on those uniforms?
The insurance is outrageous. And one thing I want everyone to understand is it is going to, unless you have VIP, you do have to pay to park.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of trying to let people know that up front. If you don't have VIP, that was part of the VIP package that so
yeah,
you're going to, so carpool.
Yes, for sure. Bobby,
actually, Pete's going to be mad at me. Everyone drive your own car.
Right.
Drive, pay. It's $25 to park.
20.
Tip them.
It is 20.
$50. Tip them. Tip $50.
Hey, I'll take you. I'm VIP. I'll take you in for 15 each. Right.
That's how I got into a bar in London for free.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was in London in, what was that? I guess it was June 2000. There was still a curfew from World War II. Mm. And so only private clubs could stay open past curfew. Mm-hmm. And so the bar that we were trying to hang out at, we got one drink and then they closed on us. We're like, what is this? Mm-hmm. So back on the tube to Tiger, because that was the only place we could find, or the closest place we could find that was open. And there was just a line of dudes out front just offering to pay your entrance, buy drinks. Like you could negotiate from one guy to the next. Like, okay, well, what do you give me? Because they couldn't go into the bar without a date.
Woman. Right. Okay.
But I could go in, but like, I'm not going to pay the door charge if I'm not going to pay a door charge. So we ended up, like, my best friend and I agreeing to go in with this dude and his friend because they had just lost at footy and they were devastated. And we're like, okay, we'll go in, but we're not going home with you. Like, whatever you've heard about American Girls, like, that's not what's about to happen. And so, okay, well, we'll buy your entrance, we'll buy you a drink, you just have to have a drink with us because we're sad. Like, okay, we'll have a drink with you, but that's it. And they're like, okay.
If
they got 8.
If they're just lost at footy, they probably didn't like girls anyway.
They got a picture of kamikazes.
Well, there you go.
That was the one drink.
There you go.
So we were there way later than we expected. The tube was closed by the time we were out. So then we had to walk from Tiger back to around Victoria Station. If you're familiar with London, that's not a short walk, especially after midnight as two 18-year-old girls.
Closes?
It was wild. Yeah, because it's curfew.
Oh.
So the tube closed. And a lot of the cab drivers wouldn't, like, I had to jump in the road to stop the cab driver because their lights were all off because curfew. So they weren't supposed to take us. And
Were they expecting a bombing?
I guess, like, it's leftover. It was leftover from World War II. I don't know if it's still like that anymore.
Is there still a curfew?
I haven't been back.
You surprised?
It was crazy.
London's not one of the places that's on my list. Like, oh my gosh, I gotta go.
Right.
It was really cool.
I mean, I look at their food and I was like, oh, there is not, because I like to travel for food.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's nothing in any British food where I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta have that.
We were at a bed and breakfast.
Wait, hold on. Tiger was like an actual London restaurant, or what?
It was a bar.
All right. For some reason, when I pulled up on Google Maps, it says it's a Thai restaurant.
Well,
it might be now.
It was a bar. So there's Tiger Thai Street Kitchen. It's the Tiger London next to it. And I think it's by Covent Garden. And so we had to walk from Covent Garden. Yeah, there's the tube right there, the tube stop at Piccadilly Circus. That's where it was. And the reason we knew it was because we had just gotten out of theater. We had seen Phantom of the Opera in London, and we had met some of Her Majesty's Horse Guards, and they had asked us out. So we were like, well, after the show, we'll meet you at this bar that was close to all of us. And that was Sahara Nights Bar. And so we went, and they were already gone because they had curfew, and they were in the military, so they didn't want to get busted. Bobby's going to ding me for this. He's already making fun of me that I have a thing for men in the military. I was just always around military guys. I didn't have a thing for military guys. I was just always around them.
Well, I can tell you,
so
Tiger. It's now that I travel, looking the way I look now. In Spain, I didn't realize, like, here I'm a little out of the norm.
Not overly conspicuous.
But there, people are looking at me like they call me cowboy.
You're an attraction.
Don Quixote with that beard.
Yeah, I mean, clearly I look American wherever I go, and as soon as I open my mouth, it's obviously, I'm American. And it's really kind of strange, like the treatment of what you're talking about when you were a young girl compared to my travel now. And
It was wild.
because, I didn't travel a lot when I was younger out of the country, but now I do. And it's like, everyone's like, oh, they hate Americans. I've never, ever experienced that except inside the country in Hawaii.
Yeah.
It's the only place I've ever had any struggle with.
We were treated poorly in Hawaii. When I've traveled through Europe a fair amount, and I didn't have that experience either. It was actually a little hard because, like, being a Southern girl, like, we look at people and we smile and we like say hi to people walking on the street. Well, in Italy and France, that gets you followed. Like, they think you're propositioning them, and so I kept getting us followed because I'm friendly. And then we would have to go into a shop and just tell the shopkeeper, like, these boys are following us. Can we just hang out here? And then they would go run them off with a broom. And that's how we, like, didn't get assaulted. But I mean, they could have told us to get out because we weren't, like, trying to buy anything.
Right.
We were just trying to hide out. So we didn't have the money to buy anything. But they were all super sweet and they were understanding. So I didn't experience a lot of anti-American hate. Like, you would get, roasted some, but like, everyone roasts everybody. I don't take offense to that.
No, I've never even had that experience where they've even said anything. It's like, oh, I really would love to go there. I mean, that's usually what it is. And,
they all want to know where you're
from. And then they question a lot of things, like, oh, well, what's Florida like?
Right.
They all think you live in Disneyland.
And I think they all think we live in New York.
Yeah.
Well,
once they find out you're from Florida, they're like, do you live in Disney?
Yeah.
And at that point, they lived very, very far away from Disney. It's like, no.
Right.
Big state.
But,
Disney's very far away.
France has a reputation for being down on Americans, and I've been to France 3 times and never had a problem there at all. I did get chided by a couple of gendarmes when I, after doing a lovely wine tasting in Burgundy, stopped at a traffic light and there was nobody on the road, and I made a right on red. And the next thing I know, these 2 bright French blue gendarmes come whipping up on their motorcycles and pull us over. Being the dumb American at times works.
Yeah.
And all I got out of it was, rouge, no, you can't turn on red. Thanks, guys. We good here? Love you. Right.
Love you. Mean it. Promise.
Yep. Uh-huh.
You want the rest of my wine?
I was going to say, I don't need to get out of the car, do I? Yeah.
We're good.
No,
right?
wait.
Standing's not my strong point right now.
That's why I'm sitting down to drive.
But Lenny, Lenny, you're American. You're an American in France. You never you. Why can't my words work today?
We do it. We got time.
All right.
Take 2.
All right. But anyway, Lenny, you're an American in France. But yeah, you also surrender to law enforcement, which the French always do whenever whenever they're in wars.
Yeah.
Why'd you?
They had 2 motorcycles. I was in a rented car. I wasn't going to try to outrun them in the middle of the Burgundy vineyards.
Didn't have a good hideout.
Right. Yep. No. Right.
I heard French tunnels are dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk to Diana about that. But also maybe Queen Elizabeth had something to do with it. But who's to say?
All right. Do you want to do trivia?
Sure.
Why not?
Since we have Florida Man games coming up, I thought it would be interesting to do state trivia. So various states.
Ron DeSantis.
No, I'm not Mike. I don't pull trivia questions out of headlines. So do you want to start with state rankings? Best states versus worst states?
Sure.
All right, let's do top 10. If you name one in the top 10, you get 1 point. If you name the number 1 state in the top 10, then you get 2 points.
And what's the criteria?
Yep.
What's it based on?
I'll give it to you. Hold on. All right, this is from U.S. News. The rankings are based on healthcare, education, economy, roads, bridges, internet,
your father's
other
cheating? Is that what you're saying?
infrastructure,
Dad, flip your phone.
Boy, kids ratting you right
public
out.
safety, natural environment, fiscal stability, state government, and opportunity. So those are the criteria with which all of these, based on those scores,
The best states
top 10 best states overall
to live in.
to live in.
In each of
based
those
on
separate
those
categories. Okay.
No, it's
No,
cumulative
cumulative.
Combined.
score from all of those.
Okay.
Yes. So these are overall ratings once you take into account all of those factors.
Did you have
Best
climate
top-
in there? I didn't hear climate.
You're not allowed. Climate's no longer an issue.
Crime and correction states natural
What
environment.
do you mean climate's not an issue? The climate
Natural-
of Florida,
Drill,
you
baby,
mean like
drill.
Weather.
Yeah.
Natural
Okay,
environment
gotcha.
is part of it.
natural environment.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
It's gonna
so
rain today. I'm with
so probably
Yeah,
not.
Alaska loses to Florida when it comes to that.
All right, so what do you got?
Well, we have
Yeah,
All right, so
hurricanes.
I'm going first.
Mhm.
I'll go with like New Hampshire.
Okay, you've got New Hampshire. Lenny, what you got?
I'll throw Colorado in there.
Colorado. What do you got, Blake?
I'm gonna say Utah.
Utah for Blake. All right, so Blake, it's 2 points.
That's
Number one state.
That's number one state.
Blake.
New Hampshire is on the list. It's number 2. You've got Colorado. You're leaning hard into the weed makes a state good, huh?
Well, that.
Colorado's not on the top 10.
What happened about fresh air and sunshine? What about,
Yeah,
what about
they
wandering
have
in the
Red
woods?
Rocks.
Their housing market's completely upside down.
Oh, well.
So there's lots of factors. All right, do you want to go around again to flesh out the top 10 or
Sure.
go to the bottom 10?
Ooh, do the bottom 10.
Well, you can stick with Colorado.
No.
All right, we're gonna do
I'm
bottom
moving way
10, let me
further
get it
south.
loaded. All right, so if you get 50, you get 2 points. The 50th state. Hold on, let me get to it.
first.
Let me make sure it's loaded. You keep having to. I hate these clickbait websites that make you hit load more a million times just so they get extra clicks.
And then when you get to the interesting stuff, they just flake out on you, too.
Yes.
That's the only problem.
Hot Russian singles in your area.
No, not that. Not that.
Talking about Pornhub again?
I got to 40. Okay.
Do you mean
Hold on.
Corn Hub?
Corn. Yes, corn. Don't say that word. All right.
Okay.
We're back
So
to the pipe
lowest-
again.
So what was
So
number
bottom
3?
10.
Just curious. What was number 3?
All right. I just got
No,
over
you don't have to go back. I mean, you read 1 and 2. You didn't.
Nebraska.
What?
Speaking about
Nebraska
corn,
is-
Horrible list. I was going to pick
Third.
them for number 50.
that is U.S. news. What do you expect?
I'm going to go with.
I'll give you the rest of the top 10 after we get the bottom 50.
I'm going to go with. I got 2 in mind. I'm going to go with Mississippi.
Damn you.
Mississippi.
Curse you, Red Baron.
Wait, hold on. But wasn't Lenny supposed to go first?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Letting us
Good answer. So
go.
I'm
Letting us
going-
go first.
Good. So I'm
All
going
right.
with Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Thank you.
I'm still going with Mississippi.
Alabama.
See if I can.
Alabama. Interesting choice.
Because of my poetic
And-
cousin.
and that's Michigan, what you wrote down in
I
mine.
know I am abbreviating the way I abbreviate. You can judge yourself.
MISS for AP states.
I'll throw in Louisiana then.
Louisiana, good choice.
Mhm.
That mess up actually got you 2 points because Louisiana is the 50th
Those were the
state.
2 I was stuck
I
in.
know. Yeah, I was rooting for Alabama, but they've got too many stuff going on in Alabama.
Birmingham.
Lenny
Actually,
got a point
Right.
with Mississippi.
I'm back.
Birmingham brings them
And
up.
let's
Right,
see
exactly.
if Alabama.
What was Mississippi? 48?
Let's see.
49.
Mississippi was 48.
Okay, who's
Arkansas.
49?
Let's see if
Arkansas.
Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
Alabama's 44. So you got a point too, Blake.
All right.
All right. So the worst states, according to this metric: South Carolina at 41, Michigan at 42, Oklahoma at 43, Alabama at 44, Alaska at 45, West Virginia 46, Arkansas 47, Mississippi 48, New Mexico 49,
Interesting.
Louisiana 50.
Interesting.
Damn you, Garrett Johnson.
All right. So
New
top
Mexico.
I'd be
Top
surprised.
10.
Yeah.
Utah's the best state. New Hampshire's number 2. Nebraska's number 3. Minnesota, number 4.
Minnesota.
Idaho, number 5. Iowa, number 6. Vermont, 7. Washington State is
Vermont.
8. Florida is number 9. Massachusetts is 10.
Of the states you just read, just because of the weather,
Mm-hmm.
Florida beats them all.
Yeah, 100%.
Well-
That's why everyone lives here.
The big thing, though, what comes around to the states, like during a 3-month period, though?
Hurricanes?
Yes,
Oh, screw that.
I mean, tornadoes, you get 0
that's a
warning
couple
for.
days.
thunderstorms.
That's a couple days. So you're snowed in for months in Idaho,
And you're way more likely to
Nebraska.
die of cold than
Nebraska,
tropical weather.
Minnesota.
Michigan.
Yeah.
All right.
Pick them all.
Yeah. No, we don't have days where it's 5.
Right. Below. Right.
Ick.
We're not talking Celsius either.
Right.
We're talking Fahrenheit.
We're going to move on to weirdest food by state. So I'll name a food. You give me the state.
All
Blake,
right,
you're
all
going
right.
first.
Yep, I am going first.
All right. Biscuits with chocolate gravy. Blake,
Oh,
where
God.
do you get biscuits with chocolate gravy?
That's with like automatically biscuits. I'm definitely thinking South of Mason Dixon line. I'm gonna say Alabama
He's sticking with Alabama. Got him a point already.
He's got a thing for Alabama. What you got?
because of my
I'm gonna
pretty
go
cousin.
South Carolina.
South
I'm
Carolina
gonna
for
South
Troy.
Carolina.
Hmm.
All right, what do we got, Lenny?
Trying to think where they play with chocolate. I'll throw Louisiana in there just because. No, they don't do biscuits in Louisiana. It would be beignets with chocolate.
Yeah.
I take
Beignets.
that back. I'll go North Carolina.
North Carolina. All right. All right. So it is Alabama. Blake's killing it today. Okay, so it's not as weird as it sounds. Since you eat chocolate on croissants, all that, they say it's a Mexican mole sauce that came up through Louisiana, heading towards the Tennessee Valley for trade. So Alabama adopted this
Converted it.
Mexican mole sauce onto biscuits.
Okay.
So they were like tasted the sauce, I guess, and were like, you know what, this would be good on
Biscuits. All right. So it's a little more involved than just a squeeze of Hershey's. I got you.
I can't pronounce Alaska, so we're gonna skip that.
Get a little mustard on my
Troy,
Yeah.
where do you find scorpion lollipops?
I'm gonna go New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Arizona.
All right.
Arizona.
Arizona and Arizona. Yes, sir, it is Arizona.
That's it. I had a 50-50
All
on
right,
that one.
so
I gotta
Blake
get
had a
back
point
in
from
there.
I bet there's somebody
Blake
in New
and Lenny got a
Mexico who
point.
sells them.
All right.
Right.
Let's see. Let's go. Loading. I'm not doing Rocky Mountain oysters because everybody knows. Where do you find a clam pizza? Lenny.
Connecticut.
Connecticut. Interesting.
Connecticut.
Connecticut. Ugh, you guys do trivia too much.
Well, here's the thing,
All right.
Amanda. You're actually going by the list based on
I
state
just
order.
a bunch of them.
He's going
I
by
just
state
scrolled past a
order.
bunch of
Yeah,
them.
because
They're in alphabetical order, so
because you went
I skipped.
Alabama, Alaska,
go.
Connecticut.
You guys figured that out way before I did with the Arizona thing.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Blake's mind. Until he said it, it didn't even come to mind.
yeah.
Don't say you don't say you skipped Alaska, then you skipped Colorado. That was the big hint.
All right.
Delaware.
All right. Where do you find gravy bread?
Gravy bread. Okay, thank Dave for actually putting up a challenge. I'm gonna say. Ooh,
Wow.
does
Wow.
do you think it's something
Got a
great?
lot of attitude for someone who got a cupcake.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. No gratitude.
Tennessee.
Tennessee. All right.
Gravy bread.
bread.
I'm gonna go Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Ooh.
I'll go South Carolina.
All right. Nobody got it. See? Look how much fun that was. Illinois.
Illinois.
All right.
All right, let's see. Let's move on to let's see, where am I? Oh, what every state is best and worst at.
Okay.
All right.
Every state's best and worst at
Uh-huh.
Florida Man games.
So we're probably not
Right there,
gonna do
both.
the worst because
Gator
they're
wrestling.
pretty dark. So
I want to hear one of the
if you
worst.
want-
We don't have to ask a question. Just tell us one of the worst.
all right.
Like we gotta have at least one of the worst.
Okay.
What's Florida's worst?
All right. So which state is the best for millennials to live in?
Oh God.
That's for millennials to live
Mhm.
in.
Ooh. Lenny, is that you?
Millennials.
Oh, me? Okay.
Yeah, I
Which
think
state?
too. I think
Colorado. I'll get it in there
Stick it to
eventually.
the weed.
I'll get it in there eventually. Well, you know, the
We
millennials
got
aren't.
Colorado. All right.
I'm gonna say Nebraska.
Nebraska.
I'm gonna go Oregon.
Oregon. Nope.
There you
North
go.
Carolina. North Carolina is the best for
It's a lot of
millennial
tech. It's
living.
a lot of
Yeah,
tech.
right.
there.
And,
See, I-
and medical.
Plus
Yeah.
NASCAR
Yeah.
as
I
well.
was gonna go Washington for the tech side, but I was
Mhm.
like, Oregon. You threw the weed thing in there.
It's Durham's got increased job opportunities
Mhm.
and the affordability is in the right spot for young people starting out. Do you want to hear what North Carolina's worst thing is?
Sure.
Raising goats.
No, hold on.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Well,
hey,
it's him.
that's
Are we
my thing.
guessing? All right.
Yeah.
The worst thing North Carolina has done. I'm gonna say
The bad thing that they're highest rated in. That's what worst means. Just so we know.
people diagnosed with lung cancer because of tobacco.
Lung cancer.
Ooh, okay.
All right.
Okay, I can understand the
That's-
logic. of
That's
that.
deep. Exactly. Really. That's
You
You
thoughtful.
can
She said
probably
she
get to
said-
this
she
if you
said to start-
consider what they're the best in.
Oh God.
So, I'm gonna go with because the millennials like him. I'm gonna go with childhood rate, like Producing children.
Producing children.
Yeah.
All right, so babies.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you have, Lenny?
I have elder care.
Elder care.
Well, if it's good for millennials, it ain't good for us old putts.
All right. Their highest rating bad category is STDs. They have incredibly high STDs. All those millennials there working in tech, trying to meet new
Millennials
friends.
don't have sex.
They ain't rapping that
Evidently.
It's the
rap.
boomers.
Yeah, really.
It's the boomers you got to watch out for.
Right, the village is insulted.
Yeah.
STD rates have been on the rise all across the state, and it's now got the highest rates of diseases, including syphilis, chlamydia, and gonorrhea.
Syphilis.
The classics.
Right.
All right.
The
How does
triumvirate.
syphilis spread? Huh.
It's a sexually transmitted disease. STD.
You and Mike were laughing. You're about to after I dumbly asked that question out loud,
That's great.
and dumbly was intentional, by the way.
That time.
Yeah,
That
time it
time.
was.
That
Yeah.
was.
All right. What's Washington State best at? And this is.
I think it's me.
you. Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it's best at the baristas.
The coffee.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll go logging.
Logging. All right.
I'm gonna say the most people in working in manufacturing.
Manufacturing. Y'all went real deep. It's biking. It's the best state for biking.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can only do it like 3 months.
Right. And it's uphill both ways.
Evidently, they don't have a problem with it.
Yeah. So
They
All right.
bike in the rain, but evidently they have amazing bike share programs. Their traffic
That's a
laws
Seattle
are
thing.
very cyclist friendly.
Seattle thing.
So it is considered the most bike friendly state. Do you want to guess
And they-
their worst
Yes,
quality?
yes, I do.
Law
Yes.
enforcement because they lost the city of
Um,
Seattle.
Who goes
4 months.
first? Isn't it
It's
Lenny?
Yeah, Lenny.
It's Lenny.
Weather
Weather?
or not.
I will answer it.
Never making it to a World Series despite having like 7 Hall of Famers throughout their entire existence.
On one team.
Yes.
Um,
Ichiro, Griffey, A-Rod.
Randy Johnson.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna stick with law enforcement.
Law enforcement?
Yeah.
Air quality.
Okay.
But it's because they get all of the crap
goes to
smoke
his-
from California.
It goes from his manufacturing. There is a lot of
Boeing.
manufacturing
Yeah.
there.
plus,
I was
plus,
gonna say,
plus,
right,
plus,
yeah.
you
plus,
might not, let's see.
Aerospace.
Yeah.
also from
Just because it's
Fallen
bike
Doors.
friendly, you might not be getting a good workout because Washington has some of the worst air quality because of how smoke from California's wildfires carry up the coast.
Mhm.
You'd think all those trees would help.
Evidently not fast enough.
Right.
All right, let's see. Best and worst of, we'll go Connecticut.
Best thing about Connecticut is not public transportation. I'm gonna say broadcasting
Broadcasting.
Oh,
Because-
ESPN.
because ESPN, NBC Sports, think MLB networks there.
I'll give you just a little bit of help. Think more broad.
I'm gonna go education.
Education.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to go, unless they changed it, their tax rate.
Okay.
I think-
Probably have to give this one to Lenny. It's making money.
Making money? How is that
Yes.
making money? No, that's a
WWE's
tax rate of
headquartered
making
there.
money.
Because
It's
I
not
don't
the
think,
same.
unless they changed it, I don't think they have a state tax, income tax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they're very, that's why all the rich people that work in New York live in Connecticut.
They have the highest per person average income, so their tax rate is friendly to all these rich people. I'm going to give that one to Lenny.
What?
All right.
Thank you.
Worst. Worst. If you've driven through Connecticut,
Oh, yeah.
then you'll be able to figure
Do
this
I
one
go-
out pretty
I
easy.
think I go first.
Yeah.
Too many New Yorkers.
All right.
The roads, the traffic.
All right, you.
That was his
Lenny.
guess.
I did,
His
roads and
road.
traffic.
Oh no, then
That's why I started going
all
to
right.
Atlantic City instead of
All
Mohegan
right,
Sun. I-95 was a drag.
I'm gonna say the Northeast Regional.
Northeast Regional, their airport.
No, the
Transportation.
What is that?
Amtrak.
Yeah.
Oh, Amtrak.
Ah, slam
Alright.
track.
It is the roads. They are the worst in roads.
I'm making a comeback in the Northeast.
They have so few roads, but they're in the worst condition out of every other state, which is
South
wild.
Carolina's got to be worse.
South Carolina is
They
worse.
can't be worse than South
This
Carolina.
is Reader's Digest, so if you have a bone to
yeah,
pick,
yeah. I mean,
All right.
South Carolina.
we'll
There's
go
no
closer
way.
to home.
They've been working on I-95 there for
How do you have that many
ages.
rich people?
Yeah.
and still have crappy
They all
roads.
take their
Because
helicopters.
they take the train or the helicopter. Yeah.
No, they're not that rich.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, you got to be uber rich to take helicopters, and they're not that rich.
But if you're Ubering, what do you need a helicopter for?
No, uber rich.
Like
uber,
Uber.
I
uber
gotcha.
rich.
Gotcha.
You know, that was a word before it was a car service.
I just had
it
this
was a
conversation with my
gentleman
daughter.
word.
Goading.
Goading.
What?
They
Like
didn't.
digging.
They didn't know the word goading,
Yeah.
and so they were saying, like, I guess it's Zoomer slang to say someone's goating, like greatest of all timing,
Right?
which
No.
doesn't even make sense as a thing.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
Goading is like digging at somebody.
Yeah. And that I was like, they wrote in sand, her and her friends wrote in sand like God is goading, and I was like, that don't sound right. Like, that does not sound right.
I tell you what, I've had some curveballs thrown in my life. He might be.
Listen, a new
All right.
word came into the lexicon
What you
now. If you
looking
get
at?
fired, you've been doged.
The tally so
what you
far.
looking at?
Okay.
We got Troy's at 4, Lenny's at 4.
You didn't give Lenny
and-
his most recent
Oh,
one.
that's right. Okay,
Yeah.
Lenny's at 5 and Blake's at 6.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Yay.
4, 5, 6.
So Florida College is having a busy weekend this weekend.
No, Florida Man games. There's nothing
Florida
else
Man
happening.
games. Zero
He's
things.
just stalling.
What's the best thing out of Alabama?
Oh,
Being out of Alabama.
Right. Yeah.
The best thing that Alabama does. What do they do well? Who goes?
Lenny.
Lenny?
I'd say Southern Rock, but it's just Muscle Shoals, and I don't think that's enough of it. Rocketry.
Rocketry?
All right.
Huntsville.
Huntsville.
Okay.
Huntsville.
NASA.
All right. Individually, Charles Barkley. Collective,
gonna go with that one too, yeah.
collectively, college football.
College football?
I got to go college football. That's where I was at.
Okay, Blevins boys get the point.
Yep.
College football.
Yeah.
Ugh, their worst
Ray
is
will be
sad.
very upset with me that I got
Yeah.
that
I don't
wrong.
think we
that was
wanna
that
do
was
their
that, that
worst.
was. I thought
Yeah,
that was a softball.
I think
Right.
we all agree we don't want to do
I was
their
hoping
worst.
you'd go like Steel or something like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
with Birmingham, but yeah.
Let's
I
not
don't think
do
we
Alabama's
want their-
worst.
We don't want to do their worst fact.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
not what you think. It's not incest. It's something else.
Are they-
Something else that's sad and it's a buzzkill. Alaska.
Are they
What do they do best?
murder or is that Mississippi?
Is that
One of
me?
them.
It's infant mortality.
I think it's you. Like
Oh well, thank you, Governor Ivey.
All right. Me. I'm gonna say. What's it?
What is Alaska's best?
Beauty.
like the scenery.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, gotta
Not-
be more specific.
Not the people.
Oh, rude. What do you got?
I'm gonna go the fishing.
Fishing? Nice.
I'm gonna go with the government stipend oil checks. What? You go
The
to
money?
Alaska, they give you checks.
They give you money to live there. It is the great outdoors. So Blake is killing it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, worst trait out of Alaska is dark, but it's not as bad as the last one. So what's the worst trait out of Alaska?
Beauty. I'm talking about the people.
All
God,
right.
that's a good
Where
looking
you
moose.
going, Lenny?
That's a good looking moose there. Oh wait, that was my sister.
Put that back on.
How about the weather?
Weather, worst.
Yeah.
All right.
Sarah Palin.
Also a good. Answer.
Wow. No, they have the highest suicide rate in the country. No points awarded.
You know why? 'Cause they're
Sarah
all
Palin.
ugly.
Nine.
Tough room tonight.
Okay, I'll give you an easy one. California, best trait. Is that you?
I don't know if I'm first or not. No, I went first on the ugly.
Yeah.
No,
people.
I do go first. I think in this one.
No, he
No, I
gave
said
us
ugly
beauty
people.
first.
I
Oh
said
yeah,
ugly
so
people,
Yolani,
so-
it is you.
He's stalling.
Yep.
I'll go climate.
Climate for California is
Yeah.
best. Okay.
I'm gonna say, the film industry is the best.
I was
All
going.
right.
I'm going entertainment,
Diversity.
diversity,
California is the best with diversity, according to Reader's Digest.
according to California.
Right.
You want to? Okay. Worst in California. What is the worst thing in California? Go ahead, Blake.
They're dry.
They're what?
They're dry.
They're
fires,
dry?
the fires.
Okay. The fires.
He's saying the fires.
All right.
Smog.
Smog. All right. Did you give us an answer?
I really
Natural
didn't give an answer.
disasters?
I didn't really give an answer. I would say also the diversity.
Oh.
They have too many genders.
And we're canceled.
Hi, Rumble.
It was worth it.
Thanks, Rumble.
It was worth it.
Wait, Rumble's not going to cancel you.
No,
I know. That's
They
why we're
never
saying
cancel
hi
for
to them.
anything.
That's just
I'm gonna
evil.
go. I'm gonna actually go earthquakes.
Earthquakes.
Yeah.
Quality of life.
Is the worst?
They're
Too
the
many-
worst in the
Wow, go
country for
figure.
quality of life.
Comes with the diversity.
Holy cow!
Why are you pointing at me?
No reason.
That's just
Said it was the best.
Just because I have Asperger's that does automatically mean I'm a DEI hire here. Actually, probably
No,
it is.
you're a Nepo baby here. Duh.
Nepo.
right. Really, come on, get it straight.
Yes,
Blake.
yes, and no.
I don't know what any of these initials mean.
Nepotism baby.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Nepotism baby.
Hi, Dad. Thank you, Dad.
You're welcome.
All right, what's happening on Bollocks tonight?
All right, on Bollocks, we're talking
Congrats,
about
Blake.
Thank you.
interesting. Blake was the winner by far.
Yes.
You and I finished tied. With
Yeah.
Wow.
five.
All right, I made a comeback.
On Bollocks tonight, we're talking about interesting family members of presidents.
All right.
So there's a lot of interesting family members
Black
out
sheep?
there. There's some wild children out there, like the story of Alice
Yep.
Roosevelt and Abraham Lincoln's son
Mm-hmm.
was actually, there was 3 assassinations, and he was within 100 yards of all 3 of them. Presidential assassinations.
Yeah.
And they
His
never got
dad's-
him.
His dad's, Harding's, and McKinley's. He was, or was it Garfield?
Garfield.
It was
It was
Garfield.
Garfield.
It was Garfield. And
Hey.
he wasn't Harding. It was McKinley and Garfield.
Garfield, yeah.
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 And but
Sometimes.
he was with them during the assassination.
Was he a Mason though?
No,
What they say?
there was
The
a
Illuminati are
span,
everywhere.
there was a span of 50 years between them.
That's crazy.
So, and people don't realize he made it to Secretary of State.
Yeah, he was a
He was
pretty
like- he was an
influential
interesting
guy.
guy.
Absolutely.
He's like Angela Lansbury. You don't invite him to a party.
And the Adams family. How much did you dig on the Adams
They
family?
drank a lot.
Well, they loved their cousins.
Ooh.
Yeah, so you find out about
You get some twisted, gnarled branches of that family tree.
That was at
you always hear
John
about
Q.
You
Yeah.
know, no, well, John Q didn't marry his cousin.
Somebody, I just read
But
somebody
his
just did.
Dad did. Abigail and John were cousins,
But-
and John's son married his first cousin.
Maybe that wedding was in the White House.
Yeah, it was his son's wedding.
Yeah.
It was in the White House.
Yeah.
So there's some really
It's going to be a
interesting.
very soap opera friendly.
There's some really interesting stories. I mean, there's some ones that really kind of any president you can tease that you want to.
Well, I went quasi contemporary. Well, we said, FDR was related to either by marriage or blood 11 other presidents.
Good gracious.
Yeah, it's amazing how kind of they're all connected, and I mean, how close the blood relation is between George W. Bush and President Obama.
Mhm.
Right.
It's only like 4 generations back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
And Obama's, his great grandfather and Warren Buffett's great grandfather are the same guy.
Mhm.
Somebody came to Maryland as an indentured servant. Somebody came from France through Louisiana. So Obama's related to like another half a dozen people that are in the White House or prominent.
And there's
Yeah.
a
That's wild.
couple of presidents that were adopted that a lot of people don't realize.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
one was officially adopted, the other one was just kind of took on the name, and there was really no paperwork that they were adopted. And
Yeah.
so there was a lot of.
I think the paperwork trail was a little easier to slough off back in the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, but we're
Wasn't
talking,
that long ago.
We're talking Gerald Ford.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're
wow.
talking
Yeah.
Gerald Ford. The paperwork never really got filed, and his mom left the dad because he was a drunkard, and she was afraid for her baby.
Yeah.
And
Ugh. Wow.
the new dad he took on that name, but there's really no paperwork attached to it.
That's interesting.
So
All right. Well, that's going to be a fun Bollocks show tonight at 6:34.
yeah, that's right.
Correct.
Yes. And no morning show. Come and meet us at Florida Man Games.
Florida
Buy
Man
tickets
Games.
if you haven't bought them yet.
We'll be in the VIP.
VIP?
Yeah.
It's a very
I'll be
VIP
there.
room.
Right.
So-
You'll be working. All right.
Signing
Bye, guys.
autographs.
Bye.